The term learned helplessness had first been used by Martin Seligman, a psychologist who tried to find explanations how depression works and what leads into it. Learned helplessness was derived from an animal model where electric shocks had been given to rats. No matter what they did and how they behaved, they were shocked. These animals started to get more and more passive, just awaiting the next shock. The loss of their own capability to influence what's going to happen to them led to acquired depressive behavior with a substantial stress reaction in their bodies. This video is for educational purposes only and not meant as medical or therapeutical personal advice. Seligman found that this could be easily transferred to humans and might explain a lot of what's happening within depression. When you think and maybe experience that you have no control over what's happening to you, it's quite easy to imagine that you start to believe it won't get better and I can't do anything about it. You become more and more passive, withdraw, and start to show signs of what is called a depressive episode. Does this sound familiar to you? For a lot of chronic pain patients, it does. No matter what they do to get rid of the pain, it always comes back. For a lot of people, it gets to a tipping point where you don't know how to help yourself anymore. You become more and more passive and often frustrated. You believe in your capabilities to do things to influence the pain or increase your quality of life might vanish. Most people think they've tried everything, different medications, physiotherapy, massages, maybe even psychotherapy, spiritual healing, sports, alternative medicine, just to find out they're still stuck in the pain. Can you relate to that? If this goes on over a long time, we usually don't know where to turn to and what to do anymore. This way, we sink more and more into this helplessness. We become passive and start to give away the responsibility for our life and our health to the system. It's like living in a maze, always hitting dead ends. Over time, beliefs like, first the pain has to go away, then I can start doing the things I like, or some kind of variety of it are formed. While absolutely understandable, these things keep us trapped and leave us even more helpless. Yes, there are circumstances where we need a doctor and with chronic pain, you should go and see a doctor. But beliefs like, I can't do anything, take away your competence to help yourself. So what it needs to find a way out are skills that foster your self-efficacy. It's the belief that you're capable of dealing with a given situation. It can be seen as the counterpart to learned helplessness. And really, most psychotherapy, like cognitive behavior therapy, CBT, acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, or pain reprocessing therapy, PRT, should increase this belief over time. But if therapy seems out of reach, which it does in a lot of countries and areas, there might be self-help groups to participate in. If such a group is good and doesn't consist of constant complaining or a race in who takes more meds, they can help you big time. The help of peers can't be valued high enough. And talking about valuing, I couldn't value it high enough if you subscribe to my channel down below and left me a like if you liked this video. Now, let me get to the next, less obvious factor that leads to helplessness. It comes from an area you wouldn't suspect in the first place. And even I, working in the health system in Germany, needed some time to really understand what's happening. To put the elephant in the room right on the table, it's the way we care in our health systems that increase helplessness. Yes, you're right. By wanting to help, we foster passivity and often enough frustration. While most of all the health stuff was subject to ourselves or our families in former times, and only the most severe cases were treated by doctors, our health systems now have become an industry. Since the people working in there specialized more and more, they wanted to offer a cure for about everything. This way, we were led to believe that we have to just show up at the doctor's office with the tiniest trouble, and it's like they will take care of it. There must be the right pill for everything. It took away, at least partly, our capabilities to care for ourselves. Don't get me wrong, specialization in the medical field led us to the survival of an incredible amount of people who would have died otherwise. And I count myself into this crowd. But there's a twist to it that's pretty dark. Since there's the promise, you don't have to do anything, let me take care of it. I'm the specialist, trust me. We tend to give it all in the hands of that specialist, giving up the responsibility for ourselves. But this is exactly what we need when dealing with chronic conditions. I see and hear it in therapy every day. I don't know how, you will fix me. This is not because we're incapable or somehow too dumb. It's because this has been expected from us within the health system, and we adapted. And while this flaw has long been discovered, and on the outside everybody wants the empowered patient, a lot of professionals still struggle heavily with having really empowered patients. Unfortunately, there's no way around it. We as patients have to take responsibility for ourselves and our lives. No one from the outside can do this for us. So while we need doctors and therapists to help us on the way, the most important work still sticks with us, caring for our lives and standing to ourselves. Because if we don't, it won't get better. Most likely it'll get worse. So let's start this journey of becoming a well-informed and capable pain patient. And yes, you can start this journey right away by watching this video here next to get informed about all the aspects that play a role within chronic